A large portion of Cern is located in the territory of St. Genus Poli. In Roman times, it was called Apolliacum. The town and the temple were dedicated to Apollyon, the destroyer, Shiva, or Horus. The very city that Cern is sitting on is the ancient temple to the god Apollyon, which is today in the Hindu temples Shiva, which is the goddess of destruction and recreation. Destruction of what? It's the only goddess, catch this, out of the thousands of gods that are out there, it is the only one, the only deity that claims to destroy the universe for the purpose of recreating it. It's it. So would it shock you to discover, let's read this out of Revelation. To him who was given the key of the bottomless pit, he opened the bottomless pit, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue his name is Apollyon. The bottomless pit is connected, according to our Bible, to the god Apollyon, which is Hasatan himself. And the very temple of Apollyon is sitting right dead center in Cern. Here's Cern's logo. Now I'm going to stretch this just for a little bit, but if you look at this, you will see 666. As a matter of fact, I looked at this for a long time, like, oh, wait a minute, there's more than 3 sixes, and then I discovered, no, there's not. There's only 3 actual 6s, and there's 2 9s. I don't know what that means, but maybe it's a coincidence. I don't know about you, but if I'm creating a logo, I really don't want it to resemble 666. But they did. So this is the epicenter, or the facility, the main headquarters of Cern, right here. That's their logo right there. And outside of their main headquarters, this is amazing to me. It is the only corporation in the world that has a deity as its mascot. Because corporations don't like to be connected to religion. They just don't. But this is the largest of its kind, and the deity that is found outside of its headquarters is Shiva. Ancient Apollyon, the goddess of destruction. And if you look very careful, this is thousands of years old. If you look carefully, what does that look like? It looks like the exact picture of the Stargate that they're creating 300 foot below ground of the collider. In their own videos, they use it. Just so you might think that I'm not crazy here, the director of research and scientific computing at CERN has this to say about the colliding. Something may come through dimensional doors at LHC, and out of this door might come something, or we might send something through it. Why is that so important? Because you have to understand, you can read all of this on their website, the purpose of CERN for the last 60 years has been to open up a portal of time-space. They want to open up a black hole, what's called a miniature black hole. Because when you collide these two, theoretically, it will tear open the time-space continuum for as little as 3 seconds, as much as 26 seconds. That was 6 years ago that they determined this. And it will create what's called a miniature black hole. Something will come through. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know if a black hole is a good idea. Every movie that I've watched that has a black hole, something goes in and never comes back. Black holes are like giant vacuum cleaners. The smallest one can suck the entire earth into it, just like that. It's something that we can't understand. It's not in our normal computing brain power to wrap our brain around a small, microscopic wormhole that could suck our universe into it, everything that's around it. But that's how it works. This is what they're trying to do. Ultimately, the goal of CERN, you can read it on their own website, their goal is time travel. That's what they want to do. Every movie that you've ever watched is not science fiction. It's there for a reason. Go back and watch it. You'll see that all of the time travel from 25 years ago to cartoon movies are using the very Hadron Collider symbol as their Stargate. Coincidence? I don't know. All I know is that it's very interesting that how many didn't even know of CERN, never even heard of it before? That we have, can you imagine that? We are living in a day where we don't even know that this organization exists, and their main goal is to open up a black hole, of which they admit from the head director of research and scientific development, they don't know what could come from the other side. I don't know about you, but Revelation says if it's connected, there is something on the other side, and it's called a polyon. And our Bible says that at the end of time, that the Nephilim or these demonic beings are going to come out of the bottomless pit. Can I just suggest, possibly, is it possible that we are the ones responsible at holding the key? Could it be that we actually do it to ourselves? That knowledge increases to such a level that we figure out how to get the key to the bottomless pit and open it, but we don't know what we're doing because the enemy, the evil spirits that are running this race, which are the spirits of the Nephilim or the giants, they are working on behalf of the fallen angels, which are in a bottomless pit right now. And they're manipulating the minds of man, giving them all of this technology to open up the key for their buddies. Just a thought. Y'all are going to sleep good tonight. When is their next collision scheduled for? Would it shock you? September 2015. They will be ramping up the largest Hadron Collider project in the history of the collider. It's already started. It takes months to ramp up because there's so many circles they have to go to, magnets, to ramp up the speed to light speed. And it's going to hit its apex in the end of September this year. They're going to hit a collision.